Welcome back to Hands On Wisconsin. I'm John Mino and
Aaron Bartolazzi.
you know, you were one of the first people to tell me things lying out in a field or maybe in a ditch someplace, they could be turned into treasures, not trash.
Absolutely. And that's what I love most about this next guy, is he actually takes old and does new construction with it and just creates a perfect blend of old and new.
You know what I like best about him? He wears a Yooper t-shirt.
I like the pencil hanging out of his hat.
That too.
That too.
The pride of Iron Mountain, now working around the Green Bay area. But I'll tell you what, our man Jeremy says it was actually his girlfriend that first got him hooked at looking at that old stuff in a whole new light.
My girlfriend, she's more of the, I call it the junk collector. She calls it treasures. So we end up with a lot of stuff that later gets repurposed down the road. This is a 1952 Chevy pickup grill. Picked it up, repurposed it, put some barnwood on top of it, and used it as a shelf in the garage. This is another old door that my girlfriend had found. She found this one in another old barn or whatever. It's got some pretty unique little locking, sliding hardware on it too. So and we repurposed it again, used it for the office door.
Wouldn't you love to know the history of some of this stuff?
I would absolutely love to know the history of it. It'd be amazing. I think the craftsmanship of some of our forefathers is just phenomenal compared to the way things are done nowadays, you know. The office ceiling, this is 1x12 barnwood planking. We actually changed the colors in the office of the trim. You'll see it's a white woodwork just to try to make the barnwood planking pop on the ceiling a little better. I used old tin on the ceiling, then I built myself a step tray out of barnwood and suspended the entire ceiling off of rebar itself. So that's just floating up there on rebar, the tray itself. This wall over here, John, this wall is basically just some old steel that we had gone, galvanized steel that's rusted. We had picked it up off an old barn or whatever and used it on this wall. The staircase, this is something that we wanted to do something a little rustic, and this is a little different. Basically just took old rusted rebar and did the balusters out of it. The tops of these also, this is also just some barnwood or whatever. Then I cut them and made them into kind of little pagoda tops here, so then nobody could set a drink or no drink rings or anything on top of these things. So unfortunately, there's a lot of sleepless nights for me because I do lay there and I think about things and I mull them over and I brainstorm ideas, and I definitely need a notepad on the side of my bed or I wouldn't have any sleep at all, I can tell you that. The mantle itself, it's basically it's an axe split beam, the mantle and the two pillars coming up to it. As you can see, it's got like a different texture on it. That's what they call a white oil rub. Which makes it, it brings out some more colors and it makes the beam look like a little smoother to look to it. Great room area where we have actually the ceiling. Those are actually old barn beams up in the ceiling also. They're 10x10, 8x8 beams up in the ceiling.
How do you support something like that up there?
Those are actually, I have them bolted from up inside. Each one of the main beams which goes across, they have like 10-inch, half-inch by 10-inch long legs in them. I have 4 in each one. And then the middle ones, there's 12-inch long log bolts that support the middle ones. And then the smaller pieces on the outside, I just used a smaller trim screw so you didn't have all the big fasteners showing. The kitchen brick, this is what they call, it's a Z brick or a half brick. This brick is about roughly, a half-inch thick or whatever, and it's actually put on similar to you would do a backsplash. Yeah, this ceiling here, John, we were going for kind of a loft look in the bedroom or whatever. We had some old barn boards. They was actually shiplap. And then we had the 2x8s, which is our full 2x8 up on here. This wanted to do something a little unique and something that carries the inside to the outside, Didn't want a standard wood. Kind of wanted to match some things we did on the inside, so again, with a collection of old barn beams and things I built a pergola over it. The deck surface itself, it's a paver stone.
Manhandling wise with something like this, how would somebody do this?
Manhandling, the 10-inch beam, it's about 20 feet long there was no way I was putting that one up myself. The rest of them I was able to manhandle myself, but I was complaining about my back for a few days after that, that's for sure.
I'm still amazed. Not only with modern guys handling those big beams, I could do it, there's not a problem there.
None.
But yeah, these pioneer guys, no heavy equipment. How did they get these things up there 40, 50 feet high?
I don't know, but my back would have hurt for a heck of a lot longer than 2 to 3 weeks, that's for
Well,
sure.
one time a guy told me what I think the Amish builders used to do is they'd build the side of the barn on the ground. The guys would straddle it, and somehow with a team of horses, they would pull up, and those guys would ride the thing up. A job I would not have.
I'd pay to see
back
that.
then.
I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. Boy, Jeremy does some great work, though, and if you're looking for some of his work, check him out on Facebook, JJ Ellis, ELLIS Construction. He is a magician, taking that old stuff and incorporating it with the new. I wish I had that talent.
Me too. It's inspiring what he does. It's very, very cool. Taking old stuff and putting it in new construction houses. We need more of that in Green Bay.
But if I had that talent, you'd be asking me to do all that kind of stuff for free, I think, at your house.
Yeah, I think I've
so.
done that.
I know you have.
Yeah.
We'll be
Thanks
back
for
with
that.
more. Oh, you're welcome.